A high-pitched cry for help by problematic_Lana on AO3. Chapter 20. Dada Mike. Mike was absolutely distressed. Shouta and Mike were both aware that the blonde was a perfect fit to take care of Izuku, but no one had taken something important into consideration. Hisashi takes his hearing aids out to sleep. He was still very perceptive of his surroundings as a hero, but there was no way he'd be able to hear the minimal sound Izuku made while scrapping. He really had learned to be as silent as possible, and Mike hadn't ever imagined a possibility like that. He just knew that if the kid needed or wanted something, he was instructed to go into his room and wake him up. Did he purposely wait to be alone with the deaf hero? At the middle of the night, maybe an hour after Izuku actually left, Mike woke up in a puddle of sweat, something unfamiliar creeping in his chest, not leaving him alone. And of course, that, for some peace of his mind, he went to Izuku's room just to make sure he was alright. But Izuku wasn't there. The poor man went into complete panic mode in less than 10 seconds. He trashed the whole house and called his name a dozen times before noticing the window was open and his backpack was missing. The living room security cameras confirmed his suspicion. No. He wouldn't just randomly leave at 2 a.m. He wouldn't just randomly leave at 2 a.m. in the morning, right? Why would he? He thought he liked them. Did he not like them? The alarms had both sound and light in cases where Mike couldn't hear, so that at least the lights would wake him up, but they were programmed to activate if there was an intruder. It was only obvious that when opening from the inside, nothing would happen. The blonde didn't even bother putting on shoes or a coat before running out of the house with just one hearing aid on and his phone in hand. Oh Lord, how could this have happened? How could he have lost a child under his care? How could he possibly explain this to his husband? How was he going to find his baby? Hisashi ran across the streets like a maniac, screaming Izuku's name in vain, not even realizing he was using his quirk. It was like, suddenly, all of his hero training went down the drain. He picked up his phone and had to take some deep breaths before calling his husband. He was so busy holding back tears and searching in alleys that it took him a minute to notice he put the phone on the ear that didn't have the hearing aid. Mike, why are you calling at this hour? The voice of his husband sounded so tired and slow. He hated to put even more on top of what we had to deal with. Izuku, the window gone. The window is gone. There was a pause in which he seemed to understand the panic in the blonde's voice. Did Izuku fall out the window? Oh gods, no! Izuku left through the window! He screamed, sounding on the verge of tears. I had my hearing aids out and he was gone when I woke up. The following sounds make Mike cringe, a mix of insults that weren't exactly directed towards him, and some papers being shoved around, then some other voices, and some more cursing. By then the loud hero was fighting the tears in his eyes, mainly to be able to see where he was going, and to find his little listener. Okay, I'm with Nayomasa. Send me your But he stopped listening as soon as something grabbed his leg from behind, scaring a scream out of him. Mike, what was that? Looking down, he was met with deep green eyes, filled to the top with tears just like his. Izuku was hugging his leg, backpack still on, and face full of mud. He was looking extra sad, and was shivering a bit from holding back tears. He didn't look physically hurt or in pain. He was just a sad little boy that got lost in his emotions. Mike didn't waste another second and got down to his knees, hugging his baby as if his life depended on it, letting all his tears flow in a mixture of relief, guilt, and the adrenaline rush going down. Izuku, baby, you scared me to death. He cried out, smiling at the sight of his little boy, also letting his tears go down without shame. Are you okay? Why did you leave? Are you mad? What happened? He made his best to sound articulated and calm, but he just wasn't in the best shape to reassure others. At the lack of response, he just hugged him tighter, rubbing circles on his back, forgetting the phone call completely. It's okay, baby. I love you, and that's all that matters, right? We can figure out the rest later. And it wasn't just the words Izuku had been wanting to hear all his life. That someone loved him, and the rest would just work through. He held onto the boy's sleepy shirt for dear life, holding back his tears just for one more second to get his point across. Sorry, Dada. And at that signal, he let out the most incredible and thunderous cry of all time, much more similar to a high-pitched wail cry than a distressed kid. Mike didn't even move, just let out his hearing aid and continued to hold onto his son for as long as he needed to let it all out. It was the first time he had ever heard a quirk louder than his. He just knew he kept on going for a few minutes without letting himself rest. His chest was still vibrating from the cries, letting Mike know he was there, safe in his arms. It was so heartwarming to hear his son for the first time that he had to bite his lip to not use his own quirk against himself. It was Izuku's time to be a messy quirk user. He could later teach him one trick or two, but for now, he would just indulge in the fact that he was there and he had called him Dada. Because that was exactly what he was. Hell, the kid could call him ugly and he would say thank you. But having the title Dada made him absolutely a mess. Fuck all the rest. This was his son, and that was a title he earned. He would put his heart and soul into that title for the rest of his life. Being a hero felt so insignificant next to being a father. It was a long, deep hug that they both needed, and when they moved away, there was a look on them that wasn't there before, as if being away from each other was all they needed to understand that they were a family, like it or not. Hearing aid back on, and a message to Shouta. Later they went home. The phone call was cut right as Izuku's cry, as his quirk interrupted the sound waves from ever leaving or getting to the phone. Amazing indeed, but that didn't stop the fact that he could still hear his problem child's voice. Even hearing the Dada title, he wanted so hard for himself. The loud, quirky duo took a relaxing bath, talking both in sign language and reassuring each other. Mike, once he calmed down, made sure to let the kid explain himself, trying to play down the quirk and voice usage so he wouldn't feel as if he did something wrong. He did tell the kid he had a beautiful voice, which accidentally sent him back into a crying mess. Mike took his time, cleaning Izuku's face and hair, singing a lullaby, and taking care of his curls in recovery, untangling them, and combing his hair lovingly. He was forced to keep singing, and not start crying again, when his son hummed with him, a soft, cute little voice that was just angelical. It fitted him so much that he would always remember thinking he would do anything so he wouldn't feel the need to shut up. The explanation itself was a lot sadder than one would think. As Izuku believed they were putting him up for adoption, he wanted to go back to his old house, to recover something that he never wanted to give to the couple. Sadly enough, the apartment was already completely clean of any of Izuku's things, but with some luck, they might have kept whatever he wanted in the police station as evidence. Izuku said that it was his goodbye box, but he wouldn't explain any further than that. No one would push him either way. An hour after their arrival, Shouta got there. He was mad that it took him so long to get out of the station, and was even more mad that he had to make all the way walking/running. He was absolutely exhausted, and couldn't help but smile widely at the sight. Both singers sleeping in the master bedroom together, curled up into each other, with their hair slightly wet still. They were holding one another, with soft, relaxed expressions on their face, and it was only fitting that he would slip a cover on them and join. Mike was right. They loved each other. And the rest, they would figure out. That was such a cute... Okay, I thought it was going to be really angsty and like something was going to happen. No, we got something cute. Thank you, Problematic _Lana. I do not need more angsty stuff. This was such a cute chapter, and that one person in the comments, I forgot your username, but I know you. You were in the comments. You said that it would be adorable, or that you predict, I don't know if you said you predict or it would be adorable, but you mentioned Izuku's first words to Aizawa and Hisashi being dad, or some form of like dad, father, dada in this case, or something like that to, obviously them. And that would be the first words that they hear. And I thought it was super cute, and I replied back like, oh my god, I would love that. Want that to happen. It happened literally right after. Oh my god, I love that so much. Next chapter is called Leash Kid. Now, are they gonna get one of those like leash backpacks? I don't think I had a leash backpack. Did I have a leash backpack? I don't know. I was a runner. I was a track star. I was what you would call a demon child. Demon child. I was dramatic as fuck. It makes sense why my mom was not surprised when I ended up joining the drama club and the drama class, and being in 4 plays, 3 of which I landed leading roles. The last one, I didn't land a leading role because I was actually backstage manager, thank you very much. I wanted to join crew. But yeah, she was not at all surprised. She's also not at all surprised that I think voice acting is something that's super, super cool and that I very much would love to do one point at a time. I mean, technically speaking, this is considered voice acting, so I'm doing what I want to. And you know what? I'm enjoying every bit of it, but yeah, no, Leash Kid. Does that mean they're gonna get him those, like, backpack things? Because if so, I need that. I desperately need that. Also, can we just tell Izuku that it's not that he's being put up for adoption, is that, he's getting adopted? Please and thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I see a lot of you saying that Nezu. I know you mean well, Nezu. I know you meant well, but, like, Nezu. Sweetie, darling, Nezu. No. No. But yeah. Also, I've been aware that instead of saying part mortem or past mortem, I put past partum or past, yeah. No. Inko was not giving birth when she got beheaded. No. She was already dead when the head was cut, right? So it's definitely, so she got, okay, I want to talk about this. So she got killed via strangulation, whether it be, like, not strangulation, but lack of oxygen, right? Which is apparent, and I'm guessing they, since they can't really see the lungs, I guess they tested the brain for that shit. Which then comes the cause. Okay, they're sending a message, because normally they wouldn't put the head out like that, if I'm being honest. Especially that clean cut. That speaks of someone who is known for that type of stuff. Like, someone who knows what they're doing. Because to get a clean cut in any human body, even like the hand or a finger, it is extremely hard because of bones and stuff. You would need the certain tools. And not just the certain tools, because you can't just get the magical tool and do it yourself and boom, perfect. No, you need the tools and, being able to cut it, right? It's why most of the time, if, like, they see a cut up body part and it's like, okay, it's clean cut, this person either has background with butchering or something like that, or they're a serial killer who's done this a while, right? So yeah, that is concerning. I know I didn't speak about that in my last one. It's a tad bit concerning. I like to be able to sit here and you guys were not left on a big cliffhanger. You guys just had to wait a day after Izuku ran away. I had to wait 3 days. Why? Because I went on a trip and I was left on the biggest cliffhanger of my whole entire life. 3 days. 3 fucking days. That shit is weird. That's all I'm gonna say. That shit is weird as fuck. But yeah, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.